Hi Scorpios, it's Nick. I hope you guys are doing good. It's for all my Scorpios, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, men, and women. I hope you guys are doing great. We're now covering January 31st till February 6th. So we're basically in February now. On the 1st, we have a new moon in Aquarius, guys. So this is like a new mind frame, new mentality, us maybe wanting to reinvent ourselves or reinvent a certain area of our life, but definitely like our old way of thinking is going out the window, okay? Like you may have already been thinking differently, but if not now, if not then, definitely now moving forward, you're gonna have like a different way of seeing the world and your place in the world, okay? And then on the same day, we have Juno, the asteroid, moving into Aquarius. So this is us looking for long-term mental connection and stimulation. Okay, and then on the 4th, we have Mercury in Capricorn finally going direct. Hallelujah. So, I don't know about you, but it felt like Mercury was in retrograde for a long time. It just felt like that. But so now things are going to start to maybe move a little bit smoother. Maybe your communication, your thinking is going to be a little bit better, a little bit faster. So it's going direct. Good news, guys. And then on the same day, we have the Sun conjuncting Saturn. So this is us taking mental responsibility for our thoughts, how we express ourselves, our communications, and a lot of things that we think and communicate coming into reality, into fruition. So you want to be mindful of that. Like, man, like, you know how we say like, oh, I jinxed myself. You want to make sure you jinx yourself in a good way, where you're not like projecting or thinking negative thoughts and speaking negativity into existence. You want to jinx yourself into good things. So be really mindful, because although there still are a lot of Capricorn energies in the sky, we're in Aquarius season. So you want to take care of your mental health and your thoughts and your how you express yourself, okay? Because it can become your reality very, very quick. Okay, all right, so we're gonna be covering a little bit of health, work, and love. I'll have the link to the extended reading below in the description box if you're interested afterwards, okay? And by the way, I'm still a little bit sick. Last week, after filming the second half of the readings, it went downhill and I was like super sick, and it's weird because I haven't really gotten sick in over 3 years, so maybe it was time, but now I'm feeling a little bit better. But if I'm still kind of like, you know why. All right, guys, so when it comes to your health, I see you're receiving like a warm, loving like support through a younger energy this week, and I think it may be coming from either like an infant, or a child, an elderly person, or like a pet. Okay, like for example, maybe you have to babysit or look over your nephew or nieces maybe this week, or you're looking after someone's pet because they have to go somewhere, or you visit, or you're looking over after an elderly family member maybe, or something, whatever the reason is. Or maybe you see this person, or you run into them, they're like, oh my god, hi, and you're that cool auntie or cool uncle or grandparent or something, and they're like, oh my gosh, I love you auntie, or I love you uncle, or the pet is just like giving you so much love, and you're like, it just warms your heart. So you may receive like a really nice warm message, or like action, or maybe they make you like, oh my god auntie, look, I made you this cake, or I made you this drawing, you're like, you made that for me, like something kind of really sweet like that just kind of warms your heart. So I know this is not exactly health related, but the reason why you see this person or run into them may be because of health. And then you get the message from them, or they're like, oh, thank you for taking care of me, or thank you for helping me, auntie Scorpio, uncle Scorpio. You're just like, oh, it's okay. Like it may really warm your heart. You're like, like I'm not really into mushy, lovey, sentimental hugs and kisses, but like thank you. It just could really warm your heart. So maybe you may be looking after a child or elderly person or a pet, and whatever that pet or person does for you, it's gonna really like warm your heart. Okay, all right, because I know you guys are softies on the inside, okay? Don't try to hide. When it comes to your work, school, career, and finances, now this is an area of life you're receiving major love and support, actually, from the universe, from colleagues, workers, clients, customers, other people around you, people who support you, love you. You're receiving love and support, and things are just flowing really well. And maybe it's just because you're thriving, or you're doing something you love, or you're pouring your heart into whatever it is that you're doing. Even if you hate your job or you don't like what you're doing, you're putting your all into it. So you're like, you know what, I'm here, I might as well do a good job. I don't want to collect bad karma. I want good things to come in, so I'm gonna make sure I do my best at what I'm doing. And that is coming back twofold. Like, let's say you're like a nurse, right? And there's certain things, like, you know, you have to do for patients, and then there's certain extra things that maybe, you know, you don't have to do, but you do it out of the kindness of your heart. You do extra checks, or you do little extra things for people because you know they're suffering and you want to help them, and you know you don't have to do it, but you do it because you're a good person and you care. Okay, and those things are coming back, or you're getting rewarded for these things. Like, maybe this person is no longer in the hospital, or they recovered and they came back to visit you, or they gave you something, or they gave you a recommendation, or maybe now you're looking for a home and this person was a real estate agent, or they had a connection and now that person's helping you, or they got you connected to the right people. Like something like that, like where some good deed that you did in the past is now coming back, and like good karma is coming back to you, and you're receiving love and support. Maybe you're making a lot of sales, or you're getting a lot of clients, customers, or you're doing well in your exams, you're doing well in school. Whatever it is that you're doing, you're receiving a lot of love and support from the universe through other people, places, things. Okay, and the more this week, especially this week, the more love and emotions you put into your work, like you're really doing it out of the heart, and you're putting good intentions into it, the better the results are gonna be. Okay, because you get what you put in. Okay, the more good you put into something, the more you're gonna get out of it. But the more half-ass you do things and like you don't care, guess what? That's gonna be the kind of energy you get out of it. So make sure you're doing things from the kindness of your heart, and because it feels right, not because you know, for other reasons, but do it out of the kindness of your heart, and you're going to receive a lot more in the end. Okay, all right. So when it comes to your love, relationships, and dating, on your side here, excuse me, we have Strength in reverse, Ace of Wands, and the King of Crystals. All right, so some of you could have Leo somewhere in your chart possibly. And then on this other side, for this other person, this could be the past, present, or future situation, or all three, all the above. And yes, it does apply whether you're single, in a relationship, married, divorced, situationship, friends with benefits, you don't know what's going on. It's okay, it's just the energies, just take what fits, leave the rest out. All right, so we have Awakening, Eight of Swords, and the Ace of Swords. All right, so as far as who you could be dealing with, I definitely feel more air energy. So this person could be a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, but it doesn't have to be. It could be any sign. Like I always say to you guys, it could just be the energy this person is embodying or coming across this week, but definitely air energy, or there's going to be communication now. And if communication has been kind of like iffy, or there's been no communication, now there's going to be clear passageways, more honesty, more truth, more vulnerability coming up. I feel like there's going to be a lot more answers being given, answers being received here, and more honest thoughts being shared. Okay, if that's been kind of a struggle maybe between you and another person, they're breaking the silence. Okay. So I feel like here, the more you're vulnerable, or your ability to be vulnerable, is what's gonna bring you guys closer together. And I know for some of you, maybe that's like, oh, I don't want to be vulnerable, I don't want to say anything, like then I'm gonna look down, or then but sometimes having that mentality hinders you, it blocks you, because in order to have a relationship and really connect with someone, you have to be vulnerable. You have to have that emotional connection. We only connect with things when there's some kind of like emotion that ties us to something, right? Think of like, let's say if to anyone else, maybe a rock may not mean anything, right? Like, but let's say someone that you loved, someone that you really cared about, that meant something to you, gave you this rock, and maybe that person is no longer here. Maybe that person died or passed away. Now, all of a sudden, this rock holds significant meaning to you because there's an emotional connection tied to this rock. To anyone else, doesn't mean anything, right? But to you, it means something. So the reason I say that is, in order to have that strong connection, like a rock, feel it, to hold weight, you have to be vulnerable. You have to create that emotional connection. But if it's never, that airway is never open, never created between you and another person, it's kind of hard to have something to root both of you guys in. But I feel like you are going to be learning that, or you're feeling a little more comfortable now to open up maybe with this person. You're like, you know what? All right, let me take the chance. Let me just be a little more vulnerable and not be so tough and not be so closed off. And I feel like that risk that you take is going to actually pay off, okay? Especially if this is someone who I feel like has been struggling maybe with opening up. I feel like they deal with insecurities, maybe mental blockages such as like depression, stress, anxiety, overthinking, overanalyzing, or not feeling worthy, not feeling good enough. And a lot of times we don't see these things. A lot of the things that people struggle with, that bothers them a lot, that keeps them up at night, we don't see it. You know, we don't really see it. Sometimes you can see when someone's stressed and sad, but a lot of times day-to-day life, you don't really see it. You don't have it written out on your skin and on your shirt. And these are just things people are dealing with in silence. So I feel like you're gonna have a moment, or you're gonna be a little more inclined to maybe open up and show more vulnerability, and actually show more passion, show that you are interested and you want something maybe with this person. And this is gonna be like you're gonna express yourself differently, express yourself in a more vulnerable way. Maybe you're sharing something intimate about yourself, or sharing something you've been struggling with, and that's kind of scary for you. But now this person is going to give this person courage to actually talk about maybe what's been bothering them, or talk about something about them. Okay, it kind of helps softens them up to start talking if they've been kind of silent, if they've been keeping to themselves. And so I feel like now you guys are gonna have like some kind of new beginning, or connect on a different level than you guys have been connecting with prior to this point. And this is them now finally speaking up. See, you're being more passionate, more expressive, and now this person's finally gonna be communicating or speaking, or maybe being more honest about their struggles, about their thoughts, about what's been happening to their mental health, or why they haven't been talking about these things, or why they haven't maybe been expressing themselves, or why they've been silent. So they may actually open up to you a lot more now, and you're like, whoa, like I didn't know these things, because they were just afraid before. But now you just opening up that doorway, being more vulnerable, has given them that courage to open up with you. And now you're gonna be like, wow, that's all it took for me to get these answers from them, for them to actually talk to me and be more open and communicative. And I feel like this is actually gonna make you feel a lot more secure, a lot more happy, okay? So I feel like you're gonna see that your vulnerabilities are not weaknesses, it's your strengths. And the people who actually can be vulnerable with each other are the strongest couples, okay? Those are the couples that no one can break apart, okay? The people who are prideful and never open up, never talk, those are the easiest relationships to fall apart, because there's no foundation, there's no roots, there's no emotional roots involved, right? You guys know, you don't know what I'm talking about. Intensity, emotions, like you need that foundation. If not, it's gonna fall apart. So now you guys are building the roots, you're connecting on a deeper level, and this is going to give you a sense of more security, like you really know each other, okay? So I feel like there's going to be communication here. They're going to be opening up a lot more, and you guys are probably going to be talking about things that you never talked about before that actually help the connection grow and develop. So I see new beginnings here, or a new way of connecting with each other, and that actually helps bring more passion and helps you have stronger mental connection and stimulation, which is very aligned with the Aquarius energy. Okay, all right, so we're going to be continuous on and extended and seeing where their overall emotion is. What are they thinking? How are they feeling about you? What they don't want you to know that maybe you should know, and what their next action move will be towards you, and also your advice. So I will hopefully see you guys there. The link to extended will be below, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, take care. Bye.